good evening, and welcome to today's episode of On the Scene. I am She Bananas, also known as Chiqueta Banana. I will be your guest host for the night. Shout out to the lovely and wonderful, amazing creators, the CEO of the show, Ms. Barbara Foster, for having me again. Welcome. Today's show is going to be a lit show. I got some Chicago powerhouses in the building. People you definitely should know. Like the man right here sitting here on the side of me. When I tell y'all he's the plug, he's the plug. We about to dive into, this interview with the man of the hour, Mr. Maurice the Proffit, CEO of BSide Entertainment. He's a filmmaker, a photographer. I mean, you know what?
Yeah, it's a lot.
I can't even tell it all. Go ahead. I'm just gonna let you go ahead and do what you do, bro.
It's a ton of hats, so
Okay.
I completely understand like the little, where do we start? Where does it end? First and foremost, Chiqueta, thank you so much, for letting me be a part of this and being able to actually have this honor of sitting next to you, for on the scene, especially, and shout out to Barbara Foster as well too for letting me be a part of this brand. Been trying to get on here for quite some time now.
Yeah,
so
we were
I'm
just
really,
talking about that.
I'm really excited about these people. So if I get a little bit overzealous, please, just bear with the excitement. It's like Disney World to me right now.
Yeah, On the Scene is a hot show.
It
so
is.
you need to make sure you go like the page, follow the page.
Yeah.
When I tell you in the past few days, Barbara, I cannot produce her. She's over in the background. So for those that's tuned in live, she right there looking at me doing what she do.
Yeah.
For that fantabulous work she do. But people keep saying, I've been trying to get on the show forever. So that lets you know, and me know, and all you guys that's watching know that this is the place to be, on the scene.
100%.
We're going to give you what you got coming. Let's dive into this interview, though.
Absolutely.
Like you said, continue. You are
Sure.
a man of many hats.
Yeah, definitely. So I am the founder and creative director of BSide Studios, LLC, based here in Chicago, Illinois. BSide Studios, is for anybody who may not know, is an entertainment platform that directly focuses on independent artists who may be underrepresented out here. We focus a lot of our platform abilities on like theater, filmmaking, television, web series. Now we're getting into podcasting, reality shows, cooking shows.
All around media,
around.
like anything that you're trying to cook up, y'all got on there.
Absolutely.
It.
We really are trying to trying to corner a lot of markets, with BSide. And even more beyond that as well too. So it's a really exciting time, to be a part of the BSide family.
Okay. Well, I mean, before we get off into BSide and all the things that you do there, let's talk about you. You
Sure.
grew up here in Chicago.
Yeah.
Right. What area? What made you want to just dive into doing film?
Sure. So I know some of my followers who are watching right now are laughing their heads off right now because I actually grew up in the suburbs.
Okay.
So I grew up in Schaumburg, Illinois.
All right.
And I moved out to Chicago after I graduated from college. I graduated from college in 2003, and I moved out to Chicago in 2004. So I grew up out there, and I was involved in a lot with the performing arts out in Schaumburg, and mainly it came from my own family. My mother, she had her own theater company that was based out there.
Okay.
And also in addition, being involved with like school productions and also church productions and things of that nature and everything. So I moved out here to the north side, and I wanted to, after some time, when it came to kind of finding my own footing with just kind of who I was, work, things of that nature and everything. Then I got to a point where I wanted to continue those ventures into the arts, but out here obviously. So it took some time though, because for a long time, a lot of theater outlets and such weren't really trying to mess with me because they were like, okay, who are you? Right.
Where'd you come from?
Yeah, right.
Where's your credentials?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I get it.
How come no one knows your name? How come I don't know who you are? You didn't go to school at Columbia? Who the heck are you or whatever?
Yeah, Columbia do ring here in Chicago.
Exactly, right. So it wasn't any of those were working against me.
Okay.
So, but because of that, that's was what was motivating me though. It was those no's that told me that reminded me yes.
Ooh,
You know, those no's turned to yes in my head. That's what that translated in my head and such. So yeah, so after some time, I just started just like finding little, wherever I can kind of get my foot involved with, whether it be like volunteering. Excuse me, jeez, I can't even speak right now. I'm so excited. Volunteering to be able to like maybe like just help out with passing out flyers for a show, or being able to like help with like some type of like committee board with like planning and things of that nature, or just like like helping to be able to like market on social media back when we were using MySpace. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh
so,
my God.
right. I'm
Believe it or not,
back.
MySpace is still around.
It is.
People do not go on MySpace as much as they used to.
Right, I'm about to say because
periodically I check to see if my mic. You know what? I probably shouldn't say this.
I'm so curious.
Because I wouldn't want nobody to go look for my MySpace page. I was so young.
Can you imagine going there right now, right? Because I haven't been to MySpace in probably like 10 years. So like I can only imagine if I go into there right now, like what type of like spam might be in my folder, or what type of viruses might be sitting there waiting for me over there.
Yeah, especially since you haven't updated and updated.
It's hilarious though.
Okay, so you started young. You started off doing theater in the churches and helping with productions in the church. When you got that first break, the door opened up. What did you decide to do? I'm with you. What's going on?
Yeah, right.
Gibberish tongue.
We're just so excited right now. What happened was that, like I said earlier, my mother had her own theater company that was based out there, and every year her theater company puts on a Black History production.
Okay.
And it's the biggest Black History production out there in the western, in the northwestern suburbs every year. So like a lot of people come out for it. It's been going on since 1999.
What's the name of it?
It was called Powerhouse Productions.
Okay.
Yeah, but I took over it now. It's it's BSide Studios, obviously. That holds on to that torch. And so I was getting my
generational wealth. I love it.
Just gotta pass it down.
Ooh,
absolutely keep that going. And I was getting my experience. The bulk of my experience was coming from there.
Okay.
So I was getting my experience mainly from that. So that's why I was like, let me utilize the tools that I have directly here with Powerhouse and be able to learn and be able to build my own brand from this. So then I told her, I want to get involved in every aspect of your theater company, whether it be like I said, like marketing, whether it be like being able to work the ticket desk, being able to work in sales, being able to be the MC, being able to be the stage manager, being able to even work my way up to being a director, to direct my first show.
I love your poise. A lot of people don't understand when you're in this media field, it's not just photography, it's not just filmmaking, it's not just production, it's not just radio. Anything dealing with media, people really look for you to be universal.
Absolutely.
Like you have to know the universal language.
Oh yeah.
Be able to do not just what you want, but if somebody don't show up, you got to be able to do. So I commend you for taking on that. You started young, wearing many hats. Okay. Speaking of wearing many hats, what is your most proudest hat that you put on? I know you got BSide Studios, and you say one of the reasons why it was developed was to help underground or aspiring artists tap into their creativity.
Right.
Kudos to you for that. I love that you're doing that. It's kind of like why I do what I do too. So take us on the journey and tell me why that's so important.
Oh, absolutely, because that really is near and dear to my heart. I don't want anyone to endure the type of gauntlet that I had to endure when it came to trying to get on and trying to find proper opportunity and such. So my thing was to make sure that does not happen. Let's focus on equity instead of trying to just get put on, so to speak, or try to get a bag or whatever. Let's focus on equity. Let's focus on creating something that will be equitable across the board. So this way, anybody that wants a non-traditional actor or a non-traditional artist, such as myself, who, like I said earlier, they didn't come come up with the big schools and everything like that.
Or
But
with a silver spoon in your mouth.
yeah,
like those would
right,
say,
right. The people out there who are like, you know what, who are like, in their, let's say in their 50s, and they're like, you know what, I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to be involved with the arts in some way, shape, or form. I just don't know where to start at. I don't know where to begin. I don't know whom to speak with. So we have this platform to be able to say, you are welcome here. You are a part of this. If the desire of art is in you to be able to grow, then you have a home here. I don't care if you are 50, 60, 70. I don't care if you are.
All you have to do is have the passion.
You have the passion, exactly, absolutely. If you've never seen what a camera look like in your life before, but you know you want to be able to share a piece of yourself to the world, then you have a home here with BSide. So that was my focus, was being able to learn, and that's why it was so vital to me to learn every aspect of this business, when it comes to sales, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to the economics of it, and when it comes to the artistic side of things as well too. Because it's so much more than just what your immediate talent is. So understanding all those aspects of it was what really gave me the inspiration, and also the ability as well too, to actually create this brand that really does welcome everybody. Because like I said, I don't ever want to see anybody else go through that when it comes to just rejection after rejection after rejection. I did it too. I went through it too so many times.
Well,
and rejection, it does build character. It does build character. Don't get me wrong. It does build character. It does. But the thing is, though, it's always good to know that that no matter what, you always have somewhere to fall back on.
Well,
It's always
you're gonna have a flood of people coming to BSide Studios.
Please.
Everybody trying to tap off into their feet.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And you're telling us that there's no no's. Everybody's welcome.
You're welcome.
Shout out to you for creating such a platform.
Absolutely. If you want it, if you have the desire, you have the drive, and you have the intestinal fortitude to have that focus on what is ahead of you, then we will make sure that we achieve.
So you heard that. All you gotta do is be passionate, baby. He gonna open up some doors or point you in the right direction, whatever it is. We are kicking back some chit chat right here on the scene. Maurice D. Proffit, CEO of BSide Studios, entertainment company that does a host of things. Speaking of a host of things, let's talk about the different shows you have. So you have.
We have a bunch. We have a lot
I know,
going on in the tank. So we have a lot going on in the tank right now. So so during the pandemic, and I was talking to Mr. Kings earlier about this. During the pandemic really made us force us to do a pivot, an overall pivot, because we came into 2020 really okay, we are rocking. So all 2020 was booked up. For what we had going on and everything. We had a lot of things booked up and such for the entire year, but of course the pandemic took place and we had to readjust. We did Buying Games, which was the last play that we did. We did it last February 2020, and then everything shut down. So it forced us to, we need to reassess what we're able to do now, because we cannot be inside venues. We need to be virtual. And so we started we put a lot of content virtually. We did a kind of taking the inspiration from Versus. We did our own version of Versus called Beat Fighter. We partnered up with Luis Rivera to make a competition, an acting competition called Film Flip as well too. And it's all virtual. So now we're venturing into virtual podcasting as well. And now, so we rolled out a show called Buzzing Cousins, which features Chrissy Johnston and T Bizzle. So we have that show.
But they are so hilarious.
They're hilarious, right?
Oh my God, I got to see them in action.
They are two of a kind. Seriously,
you never know what's coming with them, and that's what makes them.
Absolutely.
They remind me of my buzzing cousins. You know what I mean? Those cousins that's hype. Go ahead.
We all got some buzzing cousins in the family. You know what I'm saying?
That you live vicariously, dude, because you wouldn't dare say.
You already know how it is, right? You know the vibes. In addition, we rolled out a cooking show hosted by Chrissy Dior called Delicious Dior, and it focuses all on slow cooker recipes. So it focuses all primarily on that. In addition, next month we are rolling out a show called Sippin' and Trippin'. That's going to be starring Jessica De Leola and CJ. And it's a kind of like a battle of the sexes type of conversation of a male-female point of view of things.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And later
Sippin' and Trippin'.
yeah, it's gonna be hilarious. This month, actually, we are re-debuting our social media reality show.
Okay,
It's called Wine, Dine, and Go Live. And
Okay.
basically, what it is in a nutshell, it's a blind date that takes place on social media. These two people have no idea who each other are. We supply them with dinner, we supply them with a bottle of wine and such, and we have them go live on Facebook, and they see each other for the first time, and there you are. Friends and family are able to join in on it. They're able to crack jokes with them, ask them questions and everything. And we have a moderator as well too. That's part of it. So this way, the moderator is throwing out questions to them, like, okay, if you're in a relationship and this, that, and the other happen, so it gets them going. The thing is though, the wine, they drinking the wine all night. We talking about these pretty provocative topics.
Okay.
The conversation gets quite interesting.
So how do the topics come about in the conversation? Do you, as the producer, choose the topics beforehand?
Yeah. So what happens is that we bring them on. So we have the two be on for about 5-7 minutes with each other because they don't know each other. So we don't want it to be too awkward.
Okay.
So we have them meet each other initially, together for the first few minutes. The moderator comes back onto the show, and then it's gonna be T Bizzle who will be moderating, and then I provide her with questions, and some really some really good, some very like I said, very transparent, very provocative questions to get them talking.
Okay.
And these are the type of questions. These are the type of questions that when you be at the kickback with your friends, having something to drink on, or whatever like that and everything, and so I'm like, hey, let's throw some questions out there, just get the conversation going.
Right.
So it's one of those types of vibes that's going on.
I think I want to hook up. You think you can find me a blind date?
Hey.
She be.
Hey,
definitely on the market and looking.
Would love to have you on the show because someone like you, especially with your personality, you'll be a perfect hand in glove fit to be a part of the show.
Well, y'all heard that. I'm looking. Y'all better get yourselves together because y'all might be my next blind date messing with Mr. Maurice.
Make it happen.
Oh my God, you are phenomenal.
Absolutely appreciate that. So we have that. So we have that happening as well too. Later this year, John Robinson and Leo Arias, they're putting out their show as well too called Watch Your Mouth. It's going to be about hip hop, sports, all that good stuff and everything. And in August,
what's their names again?
John Robinson and Leo Arias.
Okay.
Yeah, so they'll be having their show as well too. And in August, we are putting out we're doing our next stand-up comedy show called 606 Mania, and that'll be taking place at Joe's on Weed Street. So that's gonna be August 19th of 2021.
Excuse me, can you stand up? How many hands you have?
I'm saying right. I'm telling you.
You talking about you the man with many hands? You gotta have a bunch of hands and legs and all that.
Listen. Seriously,
How do you find the balance? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Much congratulations on
Thank you.
all your endeavors.
Thank you.
You're doing your thing, and I see it, and I love it.
Appreciate that.
But I want to talk to the people about how do you find balance, because it's so much that you got going on.
Yeah.
And might I ask, are you married?
Yes. Yeah, I am married.
No children?
No kids.
No kids?
3 dogs.
What do you got?
Yeah, so those are just about children anyway.
You got kids.
Yeah. Shout out to my wife Christine. I love you, baby. But she.
So how do you find the balance?
Yeah,
All that?
and that's the thing is that really is that's something that I haven't definitively been able to say to lock in and be able to say, okay, this is the formula of how to be able to find that balance. To be totally honest with you, I'm just really kind of going about things as they come, really, and being able to handle things as they happen.
So you must have a really, really supportive wife.
Yeah, and she absolutely,
understands.
she definitely is very supportive, and she definitely understands. But she also knows that my drive and my focus on everything I'm doing is it really is a locked in. It really cannot be. It's impenetrable. It cannot be penetrated at all. It cannot be broken. And
Is
that's how.
she in the media realm as well?
No, she's a teacher.
Ah.
Yeah, she's a high school teacher.
So that's a great combination.
Yeah,
Especially when, like, what you're doing is pretty much to give back to what we would call our predecessors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the younger generation, the ones that's coming up, that's going to lead, right?
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
building generational wealth. So,
Right.
talk to me about the shows.
Yeah.
You ran down a list of shows. What?
Yeah.
I hate to put you on the spot like this,
Please.
but what is which show are you more compassionate about? Not that either one of them
Sure.
take less precedence,
Yeah.
but because you connect so much emotionally or, mentally.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you, as you already know, as everyone else already knows, like all the shows that we do at BSide, like are all like my kids, So they're all equal. However, the one that really does, I guess, like mean a lot to me at this moment, especially at this moment in time right now, has to be 606 Mania. And the reason being is because we debuted 606 Mania back in September of 2019. And we debuted it for the first time there. We did it at Stage 773 on the north side. We had a sold out crowd. And I was so happy about it being a sold out crowd, and it was a phenomenal night. And it was everything exactly like what I wanted in terms of like being able to bring a different type of stand-up comedy to the city of Chicago that hasn't really been seen before, with a very eclectic, very eclectic group of people who were a part of that, and also the atmosphere was really electric. So I was really excited about bringing it back in 2020. I was like, hey, we're going to do part 2 in 2020. But of course, like what I said earlier, the pandemic, took that out. But now, since we're able, and we made it official this week, being able to bring that show in particular back really does say a lot, because not only just like individually, like knowing that like, okay, we're about to be on again, but also it's symbolic of showing how Chicago is coming back. How Chicago is coming back, the world is coming back.
Because it is.
Yeah.
Everybody is shaking and baking, moving and grooving around here, baby.
I gotta tell you, I was a couple of weeks ago. I was out with a friend of mine. We met up to watch the March Madness games, and we were at some spot downtown, and just seeing people outside again. People like on their motorcycles, you know what I'm saying? Like people just being out and about. It was a beautiful Saturday night and everything like that. People being out on a Saturday night, seeing that visual once again, it was incredibly satisfying. It was so incredibly satisfying, and that's what I'm saying. Like bringing it back to like what I was talking about with 606. That is just a representation of just showing how resilient we all are. How resilient we all are, how yes, we were down for an entire year, but now we are bouncing back.
So you're all about the laughter and joy.
Yeah, exactly. And what better way with an event that's gonna be, like you said right now, that surrounds itself around humor, laughing, feeling great, having the endorphins go off in your head and everything, being able to be among other people, having that joy once again. Like that right there, couldn't be any more better.
It's important. It's very important right now. Tensions, stress, anxiety, all those things are just like all over the place. But we're gonna stir the pot and push that on up out the road.
Absolutely, get it out of
wow.
It's gonna be fantastic. So I'm really happy about that, and just really like it's just reaffirming to me that we're back on track.
Okay, so if I were to ask you to give some advice to a struggling artist, a struggling actor, actress, what type of pointers would you give? I say learn everything. I just finished saying that, but what advice would you give them in locking in? Or not necessarily locking in, but getting their foot in the door.
Sure.
To BSide Studios.
It's all how they say context is key. Content is king to me. And what I mean by that is that there's no project too small, no project too great for any artist. And what I mean by that is like at times, it's not easy being an artist. It's not, especially when you are solely focused on your artistry and what you do in the day-to-day. It's not easy. And there are times like where you are going to struggle, you are going to hurt, you are going to have self-doubt. But keep on, focusing on those projects, even the projects that don't pay anything, even those projects that you're not going to walk away with a check. But the thing is, though, you're walking away with an experience. You're walking away with an opportunity to be able to elevate yourself and be able to, like, you know, because once you do that, you walk away being better than what you were when you walked into it. And that pay right there is so vital to be able to contribute to your own self-development as an artist, because that money's gonna come. That it's gonna be there. It's gonna come. But when it comes to what you are investing into yourself, as you are developing your own self in your own internal workings, that is everlasting, and that's never gonna stop. So just stay focused on that path right there, and things are gonna fall into place. Understand that, and also with the day and age that we live in right now, understand data. I cannot stress that enough, how important it is to understand and be able to really be able to research and know what data is when it comes to this, because data and artistry, it really does go hand in hand. Know how many people are watching your stuff. Know how many people are sharing your information. Know how you're engaging, how your reach is. Understand all of those things, because all of those variables really do factor into, like, you know, where you're going to be going in the next level of your career. This is a different type of platform that we're dealing with right now in 2021. We didn't really have to pay attention to these kind of things like a decade ago. But now, the way how things are going right now, because how everything's getting digitalized, everything's getting digitalized, being monetized, you need to understand, like, you know, what's happening in between. So really be able to, like, you know, have a hand in terms of, like, okay, what they always say, they say men lie, women lie, but numbers never lie. So when you see those numbers are saying, like, you know, those numbers are telling you what's working and what's not working. So understand that, research that, really be able to internalize that, because that's really what's going to get you on to that next level as well too. So I really do stress those factors.
Man, you just dropped some real gems right there. Like, I like kicking back this chit chat with you.
I'm loving it too.
We are.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the scene. Right next. My boy. Maurice Proffit. I almost called you Marble.
Marble,
we
Maurice.
Always,
it's too many MAUs going on.
Always gift. Yes. So we got the Mama show going on.
Yeah.
But we always gift our guests with a shirt. So that's why this shirt is here.
Wonderful. Appreciate this. This is nice.
The man's collection of the On the Scene.
I love it.
The women have a more feminine side.
Yeah, I got the guy version.
Side.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, this is beautiful. Got the good material too?
It is.
Okay.
It feels good against your skin.
Yeah.
So,
appreciate this. Thank you.
Tell me, I like to know something that don't nobody else know, like fun facts. Let's talk fun facts. You know, something about Maurice that really you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
That people wouldn't even believe like you do.
Oh man. So a fun fact about myself that not too many people would know, right? So, oh gosh, because the thing is I'm such an open book that I'm so unapologetic open book that, like, I just put everything out there or whatever. But just generally speaking though, I'm really a dork when it comes to like a lot of like nerdy things. So I'm really into so full transparent. I'm really into pro wrestling. I'm really into pro wrestling. I really am. I'm a
Since
huge.
you was a kid, when it was real, you never let it go.
See, that's the thing though. I always knew it was phony, because my thing.
No, back in the days it was real. You forget the Vinericks died in the ring.
Yeah, but what they were doing was still coordinated though. Because look, here's the thing, they really were going out there getting hit.
They were kicking ass.
Yes, they were.
For real.
The thing is though, they really go out there, they really do hit.
Why you ruining my life right now?
No, they really were putting in that work though. But they knew what was going to happen at the end though. They knew what was going to happen at the end. She's like, what? Santa Claus is real?
I just really thought it was real when we were growing up. I thought it got faith along the way.
Yeah. So that stuck with me though. But that's the thing that I always knew, like, you know, okay, like, cause I kind of go fights a whole lot when I was a kid. Okay. So like, and I'm like, okay, my fights in the schoolyard don't look like the fights that's happening on TV. Why is that? You know what I mean? So that would have been. But bring it back to today though, that love for that just never went away. That never went away. So we have a wrestling group on Facebook called the Midcard Mess. Shout out to that Midcard Mess. And that's like my salvation when I want to get away from just like all the craziness in the world. I go into there, we nerd it up, talk about like what's going on Monday Night Raw, whatever like that, and everything, all that good stuff. And yeah, but it's an escape though. It's a really good escape that I really do like enjoy. Because like that's the thing though, is that like here's the thing, I feel like all of us, every one of us are nerds in some kind of way, shape, or form. Whether it be pro wrestling, whether it be comic books, whether it be movies, whether it be like an anime or whatever it may have you. Like we all are, or even like hair products or makeup products or shoes. Like you can be a nerd. Yeah, you can be a nerd and really love really love shoes and makeup. Seriously, you can be that. Right. So right.
I'm a shoe nerd.
And see, that's right. Exactly. I'm pretty sure you could drop some serious knowledge about some Jimmy Choos or
I'm not
or
saying
whatever.
No. You remember you asked me where these Timberlands, and I told you.
Oh.
I like quantity versus quality.
Oh, okay, right.
At the end of the day,
You're a collector.
Yes.
You're a collector.
I'm
Okay.
a hoarder.
So you got one of those closets.
I'm a shoe and a clothes hoarder.
You open that closet up and it's like just rows and rows of the shoes that are happening and everything.
Layers. But that's like me. My name's Chiqueta Banana. You got to peel off the layers, baby.
Boom. Exactly.
Yes.
See, exactly. I love that. Right. So you feel me on that, right? So that's like your area of nerdom right there when it comes to shoes and such. So that's what I'm saying. Like we all have our nerd outlet that we dive into for some type of escape, and pro wrestling happens to be mine. So, but yeah, that's a little fun fact about myself.
Well, I love what you're doing, my brother.
Thank you.
Once again, the next shows to air. What are the names of the
Sure,
shows?
absolutely.
And where can they find them?
So they can find all of our programs are on the BSide Studios page on Facebook. You can find it there. Our website is bsidestudios.net. That's bsidestudios.net. So that's our centralized website. However, on Facebook, you can find us on BSide Studios on Facebook. You will see all of our programs there, whether it be Buzzing Cousins, whether it be Delicious Dior, whether it be Sippin' and Trippin', 606 Mania, Watch Your Mouth. You're going to see all the material and many, many more. All the material will be there directly. So you can find us on Facebook, find us on IG, find us on the web directly, but it's all centralized there though. Yes.
Okay. And now that they know where to find your stuff, let's go back into, the fact that most of your programming, your productions are reality-based shows,
Yes.
right? So do we talk realistic? Let's talk about what's going on in the city right now.
Good.
Okay, do you mind?
Please, absolutely.
The shooting of 13-year-old Adam
Toledo, yeah. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, if you don't mind sharing?
Man.
Not to make you biased, but if you can give some advice to the parent or the cop, to the community, what would you give? And because this is a really, really tragic situation.
It really is. See, here's the thing. I'm not a parent, so I can't tell a parent how to parent.
Okay.
But the thing is though, is that I can't identify what is right and what is wrong. And I was talking to a friend of mine about this earlier today, and I was saying that the focus is really being taken away, in terms of what the true problem is.
Okay.
And the true problem really is that there is a common denominator that keeps on occurring when it comes to these tragedies, and that common denominator, I'm sorry, but it really is local government. It really is. And what I mean by that is that they're ignoring the fact that we have a police system that truly needs a lot of internal repair. We have a police system that looks at black and brown men and women as weapons, as we are not even worth humanizing, because their approach to us is always erratic. It's always erratic. It's always very questionable. It's never in control, and it's almost like you're trained to protect people, but you're doing the complete opposite. And when you are continuously getting off on these tragedies that you are committing, It's sending a message, letting other people know this is okay to treat black and brown people this way. In terms of Adam Toledo, what happened to him was absolutely horrible, and it should have never even happened. That should have been an arrest, not a murder.
So how do you feel about defunding the police?
I think it's
Do
right.
you think we should defund the police, police reform? Like, what do you think? Do you think either of which one do you think will be the most sufficient thing to do?
Defunding is the right answer, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because that right there sends a message. And the thing is, that people misinterpret what that term actually means, and that people say like, "Oh, that means that he's not gonna pay for the cop." No, it means showing that. Listen, if these types of activities keep on occurring, if these types of things that keep on going on, then money is not going to be coming into your precinct. Money is not going to be coming into into your salaries. It's not going to be coming into your pensions as well too. You have to hit them where it hurts. That's in the pocketbook. You have to send that kind of message, because and I appreciate people do. I appreciate the marches. I appreciate the social activists that goes on on social media and everything like that. However, they're not learning a lesson. So the moment you send that message to them saying that your pension is going to be taken away, your pay is going to be taken away, your retirement is going to be taken away, your benefits are going to be taken away. When once that happens, then maybe the message will start to actually start to matriculate down to these people who really need to actually understand it. So it has to be that, because what has been done in the past obviously is not working. So this is a way for them to actually have a wake up and actually hold them accountable as well too. Hold these people accountable, seriously. Chiqueta, if we gun down somebody, we're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. We're not going to get okay. You're just going.
Did you see the video though?
Yes, sadly, yes.
So
yes, and that was horrible, because the thing is though, the young man. Here's the thing. He literally did what the cop told him to do. He said, "Stop."
And he still was penalized.
Right. Stop running. Put your effing hands up, which he did, and he was still shot. The irony of this whole thing is, though, that if he did not comply, if he had kept running, he'd still be alive. So you mean to tell me that when he complied, complying killed him, but if he didn't comply and he kept running, which I'm pretty sure he probably could have outran that cop.
True.
He would still be alive. He'd be arrested, yes. They would got to his house probably later on that night and arrested him, yeah. He would have been arrested, but he'd still be alive, though. Okay. So you mean to tell me when you don't comply, you're alive, but when you do comply, you're shot dead. Explain that to me. Okay. You know what I mean? So that's where I really stand at, and I'll die on that hill. I will die on that hill. I don't even care, whoever anybody come at me about that. But seriously, that is what
you're like a big advocate.
Yeah,
against police
absolutely, 1,000,000%, absolutely. No one does. Even if you're guilty, you don't deserve to die in that fashion. You don't.
I'm with you. I don't believe in an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, for you live by the gun, you die by the gun. Right. I don't believe in none of that. You know what I mean? I believe in letting the universe handle everything. It'll work itself out.
Exactly. I'm sorry, but didn't we just some months ago we saw Kyle Rittenhouse drive all the way up to Wisconsin with an assault rifle and start shooting people off and everything, and he's still alive. Mm-hmm. He actually killed people. He actually killed people, and he's still alive. The other day we saw what happened in Minnesota when the guy,
right?
Yeah, the guy in the van who not only he smashed into a cop car, but he drove off with the cop hanging on to his car. He's still alive as well too. So that's what I'm saying. It's like people are so blind to the obvious, and it's like, no, I'm sorry, you have to call that out and really have to be able to call a spade and really identify what really is wrong.
So with you being so passionate about these issues that goes on in society, do any of your shows offer content? And if so, which show?
Oh, absolutely.
Can they find, their way around of relating to heartfelt conversation? The elephant in the room, I like to call it.
Absolutely. We did a show a few years ago called Rise or Riot.
Okay.
And it's on our YouTube page. The entire show is on there. And what that show was about is about this high school kid who was 1 week away from graduating, and he was at a convenience store. He was getting some chips or whatever like that and everything. He was coming out, and because he's kind of like a goofball, a cop crossed him, but the guy was kind of like goofing around a little bit, like, you know, just kind of like joking around with the clerk, and the cop misinterpreted him being rude. And because the cop was having like such like a bad hard day or whatever may have you, he took his aggression out on the kid, and he shoots the kid, and the kid doesn't die, but he does get shot though. And like I said, this is 1 week away from graduation, so of course, like, you know, when you're a senior in high school, you're that close to graduation, spirits are up, you're excited, you're really like, you know, you're very like, you know, just really ready for the world, you know, what's ahead of you and everything. So all of his friends, you know, had like this high expectation of what was happening, and now this happened, and it's all just like, you know, boom, it just all really, just that reality hit them really hard. And because the reality hit them hard, their ideology started to come out, and you started to see a divide between the friends as well too, in terms of like, you know, where they stood when it came to the issue of, okay, well, was what he did right, was what he did wrong, or, you know, like what about the cops or whatever like that? Should we go after the cops? Should we you know, do an uprising in the city and all that stuff and everything? No, we shouldn't do that, whatever.
Is there ever really a right and wrong answer?
Right.
Like, this is a point we're at, right?
Exactly. So you start seeing that rift between the friends, where like some friends were like, no, we need to, like, you know, let this way out and see and play out and everything. The other friends like, no, forget that. I'm ready to get busy. I'm ready to get busy and burn something down. You know what I mean? So you saw that rift that happened between them and such. But that's the thing though, is that like these issues really do create this charge, you know, in everyone, and that's because we are. That's why I feel like, because we are so compassionate about human issues, because we all have that connection between all of us. You know, all of us are all completely different individually, but we all have that human compassion among each other. That's why we get so passionate about these issues and such.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So the show really does touch a lot on that. And I
definitely want to check.
I highly recommend people, you know, check out. It's called Rise or Riot. And it's on the BSide Studios YouTube page. But it's
Rise or Riot.
Yeah, it's really solid.
Go check that out. Well, man, we done chit-chatted and
we touched a lot of points of the world tonight, for real.
Is there anything that I missed that you would like to share with the people about who you are as an individual? You know,
just me personally, I'm just, you know, I'm like everyone else. I'm just, you know, I'm an artist trying to have a lot of fun out here and make the most of this life. You know, our timeline, you know, it's you know, when we, you know, on our headstones, it's 2 dates. It's the date that we're brought to this world, the date that we left in this world. But that dash in the middle is so imperative. You know, how we treat that dash in the middle in between those 2 dates. And I'm just trying to make the most of that dash. You know what I mean, Chiqueta? I'm trying to make the most of that dash and everything. And that's why I say, like, you know, that's why I encourage people, like, you know, look, don't be afraid to, like, you know, like to holler at us and, like, you know, let us know, like, you know, if you want to be a part, if you want to be involved in everything. Just recently, shout out to Shannon Guyton. Shannon Guyton reached out to me just out of nowhere and said, like, you know, I would love to be an intern with B-Side. And I said, like, you know, let's bring you on board. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. You never know unless you ask. So, like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, with me personally, I'm that big kid that's still just having a great time in the playground, and this entire world is our playground and such. And it's like, let's make some magic happen. And really, let's make some magic happen. And let's grow together. Let's make some cash from this as well too while we're at it. You know what I mean?
I really like that you're so open, because you know Chicago has this whole crab in the barrels rumor going around. Jeez. And it's not true though. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have twos and skews that may, I think the terminology just rolls off in people's heads, but they really not like that, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody just have the urgency to succeed, you know? And having the urgency to succeed can make you seem like you're a hater or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
We got to stop taking things so defensive. But with that being said, let's go back and have a little bit more fun, okay?
Yes, please. I like that term, though, the urgency to succeed. I love that. I'm gonna have to borrow that.
We do have an urgency, because tomorrow's not promised.
Right.
Know? And speaking of the urgency to succeed, the pandemic. Let's talk about the pandemic. Let's talk about the shot. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? When it comes to production and everything, like, is everything that you're doing right now strictly virtual? Or do you have some of your cast or, your team still out here active? And if so, what are the precautions that you guys are taking?
Absolutely. So so we, as I said before, like we are the bulk of our programming right now is virtual.
Okay.
However, we just with Delicious Youre, the cooking show, that is like on site, on set, physically on set,
Okay.
With filming. And we're actually doing episode number 2 tomorrow. So, and to answer your question, yeah, because I was so excited to get back on set when we started last month. And it's been a year. It's been over a year and everything. But I wanted to make sure that everything in terms of like what we're doing, was a safe work environment for everyone who's gonna be the production and the cast who are gonna be involved with the production of the show. So yeah, absolutely. So I like loaded up, on hand sanitizer, on wipes, on masks and everything like that. I even got one of those cool temperature guns as well too and everything. I took that COVID compliant on-set exam as well too, to make sure that I had the certification as well too, that will be physically on hand to show that this is a COVID compliant set that adheres to all standards and protocols, when it comes to safety, because safety obviously is the number one priority. So I want to,
Let me pause you there.
please.
Okay. And then you can finish.
Sure.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Don't.
I want to go with the fact being in compliance with COVID, right?
Yeah.
Are you open to getting the shot and the vaccination? Have you gotten the vaccination? Are you open, and will it be mandatory for your cast and your workers to do it?
Right.
What if they mandate it?
Mhm.
Did you?
Me personally, I have no problem getting the shot. I haven't gotten it yet, just because I was like waiting for it to be like my turn, quote unquote, before they were able to change the date for all adults. But I don't have any problems with it. So like if you get it, that's great. Now in terms of like making it mandatory and such, my thing is that as long as I'm just pretty much following I'm following the footsteps of the CDC in terms of like what they tell us and what they let us know and everything, because obviously I get to kind of like go with their rhythm.
Okay.
So that's why we can't obviously we can't film in theater, we can't go in theaters yet, like in terms of to be able to make like a live theater, we can't go into live theaters yet. So we have to wait on that. We only have to have so many people to be able to pack a movie theater, so this way we can't really do a lot of big screenings yet for that as well. But if I'm able to create in a more intimate setting, kind of like where we're in right now, in a more intimate, open setting, with limited people, and we're still able to create that way, then it's fine. Because I look at it these are just baby steps to get us back to where we're supposed to be at, where we were a year and a half ago. So these are just baby steps that I'm fine with, where it's these are just temporary baby steps that we have to just kind of comply with for the time being right now. But it's going to be better, because I know a year from now, from this date, a year from now, we're going to be in a much better situation. I don't know if we'll be 100% back where we were before, but we'll be in a better situation as long as we stay compliant when it comes to safety and such. So, but yeah, but
I don't know that I agree on the shot, but I agree that if we stay in compliance, and that means just doing what you were taught when you were a kid.
Sure. And that's the thing too. And that's the thing as well too, is that because I feel like everyone has the right to their opinion when it comes to how they perceive that portion of the protocol when it comes to the shots. Because you're right. There are people who are all for it, and there are people who are still on the fence about it, and people who are just completely against it and such and everything. But that's all right though. But I feel that that's and everyone has that that freedom to be able to have that type of notion about it, because eventually we're gonna get to a point where we will be where we were before. You know, as long as we just stay responsible with the way how we're interacting. Like when we saw each other, we had masks on and everything like that, and all that good stuff and everything. But that's the thing is
We
that
made sure it was safe.
Yeah, we made sure it was safe.
Practicing our
Exactly, we
distance.
still have our distance and everything like that, right? Exactly. So I mean, we still are taking a very responsible approach when it comes to like how we're going about this. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time, and it's okay if it takes a few years. It takes a few years. That's fine. But it's gonna take some time, and it's okay. And I think that's all right.
Okay. Quick question.
Yes.
Which do you enjoy more? The marketing, the photography. Like, what part of what you do is your most pride? Is like you really put your all into it because that's your niche. Like all of it is your passion,
Right,
because it
right.
all comes together. But what is Maurice's niche?
Yeah, it's got to be the marketing. I love the marketing.
Okay.
My quote unquote day job. I'm the director of international marketing for Youre. This is a supply chain management company.
Okay.
So I take a lot of it's kind of funny because I take a lot of like the type of like methods of how I go about marketing our product, you know, during the day, and I kind of take a lot of those methods over to BSide, and I take a lot of the methods I apply at BSide, I bring it over to Youre and such. So
Okay.
they really
The
go
balance.
hand in hand, right? It is a balance going hand in hand. But I love marketing, I love promoting, and that's why I'm getting more into the producer's realm of things. I've directed over 25 original pieces already under my belt, probably closer to 30 actually at this point. I've directed close to 30 original pieces under my belt, whether it be like theater, film, TV, whatever it is and everything. But the producing side of it, being able to produce the content and be able to actually get it out there and find creative ways about it, be able to market your product and everything and what we're doing and everything, is just, to me, it's electric. Being able to how create that creativity and
It
really
keeps
be
you
able
going.
to
You never have a dull moment in your
Yeah.
brain because
And-
it's always trying to find
Right.
that level up.
Yeah, and I know that's why I know everyone on Facebook, because I flood the timeline when it comes to my
Well, you
own
need to
project.
be my friend and flood my
Yeah, we
timeline.
are. We definitely will be after this, absolutely.
Yes.
But I'm telling you seriously, whenever I'm rolling out a production, I go hard with the marketing. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Seriously,
you were a blessing sent from the universe.
I'm telling you, I go.
But everybody that's tuned in, because there's so many people, the pandemic have so many people starting new things, whether it's from YouTube Chronicles
Yes.
to TikTok challenges to blogging to
Yeah.
podcasting. So many people are tapping in, and because they want to be seen or they want to be heard.
You're right.
And guess what?
Yeah.
You the man. If you here in Chicago, I'm telling y'all need to follow my brother,
Please,
Maurice D. Proffit, filmmaker, CEO, founder, and producer, filmmaker, the man over at BSide Studios Entertainment. It's an entertainment company that has 1 million reality shows.
Yes.
I'm just saying, y'all better tap in. I told y'all, we on the scene right now. It was such a blessing.
Oh, this was amazing.
Man,
This is incredible.
You are such a breath of fresh air. I
look.
love people that have something and want to share it. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's been so much fun being able to sit here with you, Chiqueta, and be able to really interact with you. I mean, we can talk all night, pretty much and everything. And
I think it's the gaps in
yeah,
there because gappy, happy people.
There's character in it. Right. There's character in that, right? It's the aerodynamics that come with it and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why we can talk all the time and such. You know what I mean? But for this has been an honor. This has been a blessing. This has been wonderful being able to sit here with you, Chiqueta, sit here with you, Mabra, and really be able to interact with your audience as well too, and be able to engage and just talk about what we're doing out here and everything. And on the scene, it's amazing. I mean,
You are finally on the scene.
Guys, this is an amazing brand. I'm telling you, I've been a fan for so long, for real. So I'm just so happy to be on the scene and everything.
Well, we are very elated to have you.
Thank you.
You are phenomenal, and I do mean that. Amazing, such a
Yes, thank you.
energetic. You're everything that this industry needs.
Yeah.
So I want to extend my blessings, you know, I wish you nothing but all the best.
Thank you.
And all your future endeavors. I hope,
100%.
you know, we can do something together.
Oh, 100% we will.
I see that.
We
I'm
will
trying to
be.
Plug myself. But seriously, you
No
know,
question.
good things, you know.
No question.
I do things, you do things. I'm all about uplifting the community.
Yeah.
You do what you do because you want our predecessors to, you know,
I see.
look forward to greater things.
Yeah.
So with that being said, don't talk to my camera right here. Let them know where they can find you and why they need to get into BSide Studios.
Most definitely, most definitely. Feel free to follow me. Find me on Facebook. You can just do a search of Maurice D. Proffits. I'm the very handsome one at the top, so it's very easy to find. All right, just search for Maurice D. Proffit. Search for BSide Studios. It's the black tape. That's going to be the little icon when you search for it. And look for us as well too on IG at BSide.studios. You can find me at MrProffit at Mr. Proffit. You can find me on IG right there. And also, like I said, go to our website, BSideStudios.net. And you'll be able to find all of our archive projects, our upcoming projects, and what we have going on right now at the same time and everything. But it's an entire universe, and I want you to be a part of it because we really are taking this over, and I want you to be a part of the ride. Each and every single one of you watching, please come through.
Well, I want to thank each and every last one of you guys for tuning in and vibing out with me, She Bananas, as I kick back some chit chat with Mr. Proffit. If you are a guest and you would love to be on the show, make sure you hit my girl up, okay? It's simple. All you got to do is go to We Are On The Scene, because that's what we are. We're on the scene. Go to We Are On The Scene at Gmail. Send her over your information, your bio, your story, your picture. Like, send her the information, and I promise you, at some point in time, she'll get you in. She a hot girl. On the scene is hot. Everybody want it. And if you want, you know, I'm just going to say it. But at the end of the day, make sure you follow me, Chiqueta Banana, on all platforms. She Bananas on Facebook, but Chiqueta, Chiqueta, Banana on all platforms. And check out my radio show, The Afternoon Kickback, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Allow me to juice up your afternoons. That has been this episode of On The Scene. Y'all have a happy Friday, okay? Happy day, happy day, happy day. We out.